Hey guys, so today we are going to learn about classes, objects, and inheritance. What is this and how we can use in Python? And as we know that object-oriented concepts are very useful in competitive programming. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So first of all, I would like to start with class. So if you want to declare a class in Python, so first of all you have to write class, then class name, suppose my class, and you can write whatever you want. Suppose I want to define the method called uh, fun func, and let's say print high inside of it. Now if you want to use this class, so first of all you have to make an object of it. So I'm gonna make object one, which is equal to my class, and I'm going to use this object. So object one dot one. So what it will do, it will print the hi. So let's check the code. Uh, hmm. Okay. So my bad. You have to type self over here. Okay. Why I write a self? Because it will orientate, it's object oriented concept, and in Python using the self command, it will identify which function of which class you are going to execute. That's why self is a very important concept over here. I will elaborate it in a very details in a few moment. Afterwards, let's move forward to the init function. So what will init does? Init is a constructor of a Python. Like in any other programming languages, what you have to do, you have to make a function name with the same of the class name to declare the constructor. But in Python, there is a init function. So how you can define it? Define init, and you have to pass self as a parameter. Apart from that, if you want to declare any uh, variable at the time of creation of object, so what you have to do, you have to pass that object like f name and l name, and you can assign it to the variable like f name, sorry, self dot say x equal to f name, and self dot y equal to l name. Now I'm going to print this variable over here. So self dot x comma self dot y, and during the creation of object, what I have to do, I have to pass first name and last name, say Harsh, and Patel is my last name. So okay, that's it. Now let's run the code. So as you can see, it will print Harsh Patel. So what it does, self command. So whenever I pass Harsh Patel over here, it will go to the f name and l name. Using the self keyword, it will assign f name to x and l name to y. Afterwards, whenever you are going to use a function, so you can use x and y by using self keyword. What happen? What will happen if there is another object, say object 2, and it also represents the same class, and the name is like Ruthvik, and the L name is doctor. So what it does, say object 2 dot fun. So okay, so as you can see, it will print Ruthvik doctor, because whenever I am creating the object to the self keyword representing the second object and print the value of x and y accordingly. That's why self is a very important thing in Python. I hope guys you understand what is init and function in my class. So that's it. Now let's move forward to the inheritance. So inheritance is a very common thing in object oriented thing. What inheritance does, it will inherit all the functions and variables from its superclass. So in Python, you if you want to inherit a class, so the syntax is like, first of all you have to type class, then say my class 2, which will inherit my class. So it will inherit all the variables and methods of the superclass. I am going to just make a pass over here because I don't want to declare anything in this class. Now, instead of making an object of first class, I'm going to make object of second class. So say my class 2 over here. Now what I'm going to do, let me just delete it and let's run the code again. Sorry. Okay, so as you can see, it prints Harsh Patel. Why? Because it will init the method of this class and it automatically inherit to the my class 2, and whenever I'm going to use this function, so it will call this function. What if there is a init method of this class? Let's check it out. So declare the init method. Now it will, as you can see that a super method will initiate the this class init method of my class, but I don't want to declare super. I just want to make another variable like self dot p, which is equal to fname, and self dot q, which is equal to lname. And again I'm going to make another method called define, same method is above, and pass self as a parameter and print self dot p and self dot q. Now let's run the code and check what is the output. So guys, as you can see, it prints Harsh Patel. Why? Because it will, first of all, it gives a priority to the particular class of the object. But if you want to print a method of this above class, so what you have to do, you have to use a super keyword. So how we can do that? So for that, you have to write, instead of print, you can write super over here, and then you can say function. Okay, so let's save the code and run it again. So as you can see, my class 2 has a no object x and y because it doesn't print anything x and y. But instead of x and y, if you write p and q over here, so yeah, I think it will print Harsh and Patel because P and Q is declared over here, but we are going to use the method of superclass, so it will print P and Q over here. So that's how you can use a super keyword in Python. I think that's enough for inheritance. You can inherit multiple class, multi-level class, hybrid inheritance. Any kind of inheritance is possible in Python. It's not like that you cannot use a multiple inheritance in Python. So I hope you guys understand inheritance, classes, and objects. And still, if you have any doubts, please ping me on any of my socials or write a comment down below, and I'll try to solve it. Thank you guys, and do share the video, and make sure if you haven't subscribed, then subscribe the channel. Thank you guys.